I love it when Don Cheadle just does not care. He just,
I mean, because you can either believe him or think he's lying.
but we know he's, it's
Yeah.
Don
So
Cheadle.
he's absolutely telling the truth here.
Oh yeah, he's telling the
Yeah.
truth. So he's appearing in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which
Mhm.
some of us suspected that this was going to be a thing. I mean, he seems like the type of character you could toss into this show, War Machine specifically, and be like, here you go. It's like, oh yeah, that fits. That definitely
Mhm.
fits in here, which is awesome. The one thing that I've seen people kind of talk about this is like, is this going to set up those elements of the upcoming show? Because it looks like that's going to start shooting sometime this year. So,
Mm.
Mhm.
I mean, it could very well do.
yeah. I mean,
It's-
here, my
Because the show, like Falcon and Winter Soldier, could very well just be like, oh yeah, we need a new Captain America because this technology is out there now.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
people are on the nanotech and everything.
I mean, I think that'll be mentioned as like a side plot where they're like,
Mm.
hey, Rhodes, have you checked all across the world? Like, Madripoor, maybe? Why? They're making bootleg Iron Man suits. Maybe you should, I don't know, suit up and go check this out because it could become
Mm.
problematic. Like, I could see them dropping a hint here or there to, like, establish the overall plot. Not give you everything, but obviously kind of bring the character in just to explain his standing in the world, what the government is
Yeah.
doing. Because,
Yeah.
again, he works for the government, and the government does not want Sam, who is his friend, to be Cap. Like, that's a pretty big storyline that you kind of got to get to. So, you
Yeah,
know,
like from like what Cheeto's been saying is that it's gonna delve into Rhodey's like PTSD from his accent. In there, it's gonna be addressed, and some other things from I guess like they're gonna draw from Civil War Two, from like when Thanos almost killed Rhodey.
hmm. I mean,
And then they're gonna go like they're gonna touch on the topic of what you were saying about Tony's tech, people trying to reverse engineer it, and also him upgrading his suit.
yeah.
I'd say just from the name Armor Wars, like you can kind of
Yeah,
figure
Yeah.
out what the show's going to be about. You know,
Right.
just go read Armor Wars and it will tell you.
And it's like they already confirmed. I mean, they already have the actress playing Ironheart. Like,
Mhm.
that's
Who's
already...
clearly in Armor Wars.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna appear in Armor Wars. So it's like that makes sense. Everything's sort of lining up to be like, if you just connect all the dots, like this seems like the most this seems like the show, and it's no disrespect to it, that we know the most about because it's the safest, right? It's like from the name to
In a sense, yeah.
yeah, like again, like it's probably what one of the ones I'm most hyped for because it is War Machine, but I feel like I kind of know what to expect from it. Where it's like you look at WandaVision, it's like nope, nobody knew what the hell to expect there, and you still don't. So it's different.
So it doesn't help that, you know, it's essentially just an Iron Man 4.
Yeah, yeah,
Really. Not to that diminish like Rhodey and Cheadle and everything else, but plot line wise, it's gonna be what an Iron Man 4 probably would have been anyway.
yeah.
It's just gonna be dealing with different stuff because obviously we haven't got Iron Man anymore.
And
We
that's
just have the machine.
right, and that's kind of the thing. Like Iron Man 3 literally leaves it off with all the suits of armor and everything and the tech, and he even says it's like, oh yeah, I had backup things all across the globe with other suits and stuff. So it's like we could see how this is kind of going to go. His tech has fallen into many wrong hands. My speculation is, do we think that the Ten Rings and Mandarin will be brought all the way back around to this? Because I would really honestly like that if like somehow they're still trying this and maybe they're somehow involved, because I don't think Mandarin and that whole thing's going to be a one and done in Shang-Chi.
No.
It's like, oh,
I
no, we're
mean,
done with
maybe
that.
they could go back to that old Iron Man 3 or Avengers time comic to where Rhodey was. Because he was dealing with the Ten Rings, wasn't he, at the time?
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
why he wasn't in Avengers. Well, according to that comic anyway. So you just, take it back round to that. And
Right,
give us
'cause
a
he was-
flashback to...
Yeah, because during the events of the Avengers, he was out in the like Middle East looking for the Mandarin or what was happening. So you could technically do that, like continue that plot thread, even though it's a tiny little thing. Like, yeah,
They just make it canon and go on from there.
yep. It's I'm super hyped for this. it's one of the things I can't wait to see when he starts shooting, and I can't wait to see what armors he's going to wear. Obviously, I think it's a given he's going to wear the big bulky one he had in Endgame at the end of it, like the new Iron Patriot.
See, for me, if the whole thing is Armor Wars, I'd expect him to lose that suit and then have to rely on like the old Iron Man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
because I'm just saying, like, because one of the things he also did say is that we're gonna see him, I guess, go through the motions with him walking again. So that could be a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... well, like Mitch said also, it's like, you know, yeah, the new suit starts, it gets blown up, taken away, he's got to go back to basics, and like you said, it's also going to cover back to his PTSD and all that. So I think you can kind of, like, just through what we've said right now, you sort of I think safely you know what the entire show's kind of going to touch around. It's like, and I like that. I like kind of knowing what to expect, but I'm still kind of going to be like, you know, blown away. There'll obviously be twists and turns, probably a couple of cameos we don't expect.
You can safely assume some things, but for the most part, it's like, is it Justin Hammer? We don't know.
Yeah.
Could they do Ezekiel Stane? I fingers crossed. Stane would make the most sense for an Armor Wars show.
Yeah, he would.
You know, could they do like a Iron Man Sinister Six and have like some of the suits like the living laser and all that? Like,
oh, yes.
Like, do living laser, Marvel, please. I beg you. I beg you. Do Whirlwind as well.
That'd be cool.
No, get like all that lot in, and that's who he's got to go up against. But...
Agreed. I agree with that.